the breaking point no one sees. She stands in the antiseptic glow of a London hospital corridor, still for the first time in hours. Around her, the NHS moves in its familiar choreography of urgency, stretchers rushing past, pages vibrating, footsteps echoing like a metronome of strain. A colleague approaches. Their voice trembles as they recount the loss of a patient, the weight of another double shift, the quiet terror of a system buckling under its own expectations. She listens. She steadies. She absorbs. By dusk, she is alone in her car, hands trembling on the steering wheel. Her pulse races with the residue of everyone else's grief. Her own children are asleep by the time she gets home. Her own sorrow has no witness. And so I ask you, who heals the healers when the world keeps asking them to be unbreakable? This moment is not an anomaly. It is a global pattern, stretching from HR offices in New York navigating mass layoffs, to union representatives in Tokyo mediating conflicts that never make the news. It is the quiet epidemic hollowing out the emotional infrastructure of our workplaces, the burnout of those who carry everyone else's pain, the global toll when empathy becomes exposure. The numbers are no longer whispers, they are alarms. 48% of employees worldwide report burnout, according to Gallup's 2025 State of the Global Workplace. Global well-being has slipped again, from 35% thriving in 2022 to 33% in 2025. In the US, 57% of HR leaders say they are operating beyond capacity, and nearly half are considering leaving the field. In the UK, sickness absence has hit a 15-year high, with mental ill health driving long-term leave. Within the NHS, burnout affects nearly half of ambulance staff, while well-being champions, those tasked with supporting others, often receive no supervision at all. These are not statistics. They are the shadows of a deeper truth. Support roles are absorbing the emotional runoff of systems in crisis, grief, conflict, trauma, fear. These are the unspoken job descriptions of HR advisors, line managers, culture champions, and union reps. And unlike clinicians or therapists, they carry these burdens without training, without boundaries, and without relief. The hidden labor, emotional first responders in a fractured world. Support professionals are the quiet architects of organizational resilience. They mediate disputes, de-escalate crises, and hold space for colleagues navigating grief, discrimination, or burnout. Yet their own emotional labor remains invisible, unmeasured, unacknowledged, unprotected. Deloitte identifies mental fatigue, not workload, as the leading driver of burnout. SHRM reports that 62% of HR professionals feel pressured to be always on. CIPD shows 84% of HR leaders experience frequent stress, and 81% report burnout. Microsoft's Work Trend Index reveals a 42% rise in digital exhaustion. DHR Global notes that lack of recognition has doubled as a burnout factor. And in public services, the strain is even sharper. Line managers describe a quiet erosion, a slow depletion of emotional reserves with no space for recovery. This is the emotional contradiction of support roles. You are the supporter and the enforcer, the confidant and the investigator, the anchor and the sponge. It is a form of isolation few people understand. The human stories behind the data. Across 2 decades of advising leaders, I have heard the same confession whispered in different accents, across different continents. A US HR advisor, after mediating a fraught diversity dispute, I'm the vault for everyone's secrets. But my own fears echo in silence. A well-being lead in Australian aged care, I hold space for families' grief. But no one holds mine. These are not anomalies. They are the emotional ledger entries of a workforce stretched to breaking. And yet, purpose persists. Those who support others often report the highest meaning in their work. But meaning without protection becomes martyrdom. Rebuilding the system, what sustainable care must look like. Healing this fracture requires more than well-being webinars or resilience slogans. It demands structural redesign, organizational imperatives, embed reflective supervision as standard practice, acknowledge emotional labor in workload planning and performance reviews, rebuild boundaries, leaders must model them, strengthen peer networks so support is shared, not siloed, individual strategies, name your needs without apology. Silence is not resilience. Seek external supervision or coaching to avoid emotional isolation. Reframe empathy as renewable, replenished through rest, creativity, and connection. The role of ethical AI, relief or risk. AI, used wisely, can lighten the emotional load. Work pattern analytics can identify burnout risks early. Generative AI can reduce administrative burden. Wearables can detect early stress biomarkers. AI therapy platforms can offer discreet, personalized support. But AI is not a cure-all. If it accelerates pace without creating space, it becomes another accelerant of burnout. Technology must be a buffer, not a burden. A new social contract of care. Support roles are the heartbeat of compassionate workplaces. But the myth of invincibility must end. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is the raw material of human connection. To build workplaces where people can thrive, we must create cultures where care circulates freely, where listeners are heard, where supporters are supported, where the emotional load is shared rather than silently shouldered.